Kate, it's us, love. Are you there? We just want to talk.
Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me.
Hello, everybody. I know I'm a little late to the Kate Middleton conspiracy theory thing, but better late than never, I guess. Supposedly, she has been spotted with her husband at some market, but for some reason, there's no photographs. So, I mean, it's still the verdict's out. There was a picture or a video of a car leaving the palace, one of them, and they're like, "That's Kate," and I'm like, "How can you even think that? You can't see a thing." So I don't know. I think it's just getting wildly out of hand, but there are many things that have gone into this I don't even know what to call it, debacle. Now people are saying that she was stabbed. So that's a new one. A lot of people are saying it's because William has cheated on her with that, I think her name's Rose lady, and so she's like in having like a mental health crisis. The whole Photoshop thing people are upset about, and it's come out more. Like, there's a picture of the Queen with all of her grandkids that Kate apparently took, and there's tons of Photoshop that happened in that too. Also, I have a question. So her name's Catherine, and they spell it with a C, like in all these articles. But when they say Kate, they spell it with a K. Why? Why did they do that? And it's like when the shortened versions of name, like Richard is Dick. I don't understand that one. William is Bill. Why? I don't like who came up with all this stuff. It makes no sense. So when I kept seeing, I'm like, wait, did they spell her name wrong, or have I been spelling her name wrong? Not that I ever really spell her name, but I'm like, I swear her name started with a K. So yeah, and here they say Kate, which is interesting that they do that. I'm surprised they don't make people say her full name because she's a princess. But anyway, I don't know. I just seeing all these pictures and memes online is funny to me. All the things people come up with. Supposedly she's been spotted with her husband. She's supposed to make her appearance on Easter weekend, which there was a meme that was like Jesus standing outside the rock, and they photoshopped Kate Middleton's face onto it, and it says she knows how to make a grand entrance or something. But yeah, I honestly don't know what more to say about this topic, but there was also one where it was like when Taylor Swift cleared her whole Instagram feed, and then she put on those 3 videos of that snake, and it said Princess Catherine just cleared her Instagram and posted this cryptic message, and it was Taylor Swift's feed of the snake. Yeah, I really don't know what to say. I don't know if this is like a publicity stunt to get people interested in the royals again, because I really don't think people are. I think now that the Queen's gone, that has kind of gone down, and now that Meghan and Harry have left, I don't know. I've heard that there's rumors of the monarchy is crumbling, is starting to crack now that the Queen is gone. So it's kind of amazing that she held it together for so long. She was pretty young. I don't even know how. I don't really get into the royals, so I don't know much about them. But I know she was young when she had to take the throne. So to hold it together for that long is kind of crazy. People keep. There was one where it was Camilla pulling out of the palace in like an old Rolls Royce, and it said Camilla leaving the palace after yet another Saltburn victim, and it was Murder on the Dance Floor playing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to think about this. There was there was one more thing to talk about, but I can't remember. Anyway, my my stupid ass decided to not follow the voice inside my head, which is basically like the parent inside me, or Geppetto, or no, Jiminy Cricket. uh, if I don't do something as soon as I say it, like I'm like, oh, I need to do that. I'm like, hey, do it right now, or else I'll forget. And every single time I don't do it, guess what happens? I forget about it. So when I left this week from staying at my uncle's, like I do every week, my charger was plugged into the wall. And I said, get your charger. And I said, I'll get it in a minute. And guess what I forgot? I forgot my charger. So my computer is at 20%, and I can't find my other. I have this little black bag that has all of like my other charging things in it, and I keep my backpack. I don't know where it is. That's where the main charger for my computer is. So I think my battery will hold up because this battery lasts quite a while. But if you hear me like just abruptly stop recording, it's because I had to. Sorry, it's because I had to, and I had to get it so I could, finish editing the episode and put it up. But yeah, that just goes to show, always listen to that voice in your head, especially when it's, being the parent and being so annoying. It's just so much easier because it knows. And yeah, so take it from me. I'm just glad that I charged my computer enough the other night while I was watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. I kind of had a little date night with myself, which you guys loved. That was my highest viewed Instagram story ever, I'm pretty sure. Or one of them. And it had probably the most likes I've ever gotten on a photo. I'm like, damn, I wasn't even in it. Thanks a lot, guys. It was just a picture of my computer and a crumble cookie box and my dinner from Aubergine, which if you have not been to Aubergine, you need to go. It is so, so good. It's like healthy food, but it actually tastes good. And it's one of my favorites. It's kind of pricey. I will not lie, but it's very, very good. And it's pretty popular, especially with all like the gym rats that go there. But yeah, I got so I usually pack my lunches and dinners for the rest of the week when I stay in Provo. So I stay there Wednesday through Saturday, and I literally pack a meal for all the lunches and all the dinners there. And last week, I just had no desire to do that at all. Do you ever have those weeks, or I guess just times, when you know you're supposed to do something and you just don't? You just like, no, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just so tired. I'm not going to do it. I know it's going to mess me up. It's going to mess up my routine. And that's what happened to me. And luckily, I have a wallet that my friends make fun of. I have 3 wallets, and one of them is dedicated solely to gift cards. And I hoard gift cards because I'm afraid that I'm going to be poor one day. Poorer, I should phrase. And I have no choice but to use my gift cards. So I'm pretty poor right now because I'm putting everything towards my car and my credit card payments. And so I had like no money, and I didn't want to spend money, which I had to start spending money on another credit card. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I went grocery shopping. I got probably 10 things. It was over $100. Although I did go to expensive ass Harmon's, so that's probably my fault. But I wanted to get these electrolytes because that's the new thing you're supposed to do now, is drink electrolytes when you wake up. And those were not cheap, I will admit, but it's from that brand Just Ingredients, and she has really, really good products. So I know like they're good. Anyway, what was I getting at? Oh, so for lunches, I would be like, oh, what gift cards do I have? So I went to Applebee's one day. I used so many of my points at Chick-fil-A. It kind of makes me sick. I don't have very many anymore. I had like almost 6,000 points, I think, at Chick-fil-A. And so I used some for that. One day I think I just had like crackers and an apple. One day I did go and spend money on my credit card, you guys, but sue me. Anyway, it just messed up my whole routine. Where was I going with this? I honestly don't remember. what I was getting at with this. Oh, aubergine. Okay. So then one night I'm like, well, it's Friday night. My friend Catherine told me I was not allowed at her house. And just kidding. She did tell me, let's hang out a different night, but she didn't tell me I wasn't allowed at her house. And then my cousins were actually at my house. And so I was going to go visit them, but they were gone. So I was like, well, I'll just go because they had the Lucky Charms cookie at Crumble, which I was like, that's interesting. They usually do the cookie one or the cereal one with like other cereal types. And then I was driving there. I'm like, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day this week. That's why. Duh. But I love Lucky Charms. I'm a whore for Lucky Charms. And so I got that cookie. I also got the pancake one. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. And then I was like, well, I'll go to Aubergine too. And I got the tri-tip steak, I think, with broccoli. And then it's like vegan mac and cheese. But then they also have sides. And I got a side of sweet potatoes with their version of ranch. And then I also got these chicken bites. These chicken batter bites. So it was kind of a big meal, and it was great. I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, finished that up. Sutton is absolutely insufferable as always, but it was a good night, and you guys seemed to like it. I was like, oh, I'll just hurry and post this, and then my phone kept dinging and dinging and dinging. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, thanks for liking my photo that I wasn't in. Maybe I should post more and you guys will like my photos more. Anyway, so to get through all that, I don't have my charger. My battery seems to be holding up pretty well. And always just if you're like me, if I don't do something right away, then I'll most likely forget it. And if I need to take something with me the next day, I literally set it in front of the garage door, because if I have to see it and basically almost step on it to remember that I need to bring it. So yeah, that's that. I don't know if that's some kind of ADHD thing or something. I swear everyone has it nowadays. I'm kind of actually getting worried because I can't even watch TikTok videos anymore without getting impatient. If someone's talking too slow, or the videos at the bottom, you know how you can see how long the video is going to be, and if it's going way slow, I literally had to fast forward it, and I want a double fast forward now. That's how bad it is. And then sometimes I just give up and swipe to the next video. I'm like, my attention span is horrible. I don't know if it's because of TikTok or what, but yeah. Anyway, what else is new this week? It got a little warmer. My cousin and I we were inside cleaning yesterday, and I went outside first thing in the morning yesterday because the sun was just rising, and I've been listening to these podcasts and stuff where they say first thing in the morning, go outside and get 10 to 20 minutes of sunshine and drink your electrolytes, and it'll help your circadian rhythm and help you sleep better. Which I don't necessarily need to sleep better, but I just want to feel healthier. So I did. I was like, oh, it actually feels kind of nice out here. And then we came inside, we were cleaning, and then we went back outside. And we're like, oh, it's actually really nice out here. So we decided to do yard work, and it actually felt really good. We cleaned up a bunch of old weeds. My cousin Georgie's going to plant some vegetables this year. Her and her dad are making these plant stand things, so we cleared out a space for that in the backyard, and threw away tons of weeds, and it just felt good to be outside, and the sun felt good, even though a little breeze, but nothing like it's been this winter. So yeah, that is something I'm looking forward to this summer, is doing yard work, because I actually like it. I love mowing the lawn. I think it's one of my favorite things to do. I just love feeling the sun. I love putting my music in. I love sweating. I know that sounds weird, but I love to sweat. Not like when I am, how do I explain this? If I go to the gym and work out and I don't sweat, I don't feel like I accomplished anything, even though that's probably not the case. But I love to be drenched in sweat when I leave the gym, because it just makes me feel like I've done something productive. And so like when I'm outside mowing the lawn or like doing yard work, if I'm like sweating, I'm like, yes, I'm like getting rid of all these toxins, all these pizza rolls that have been stuffed in these pores for years. Um, but yeah, uh, I don't know. I'm just excited to plant flowers this year. I'm excited to, I don't know, just a lot of things. Like I love cleaning the garage, like first thing in the morning on summer days, hearing the birds chirp before it gets too hot. And then I try and do like all my work like in the morning up until like 11, and then I stay in the house from like 11 to I don't know, like 3, and kind of like hide out away from the sun in the like super hot part of the day. And then I love to go back out like at 4, from like 4 to sunset. And it's like one of my favorite parts of the day of all time. So yeah, I'm excited for summer. I'm excited for spring. Spring is it? Oh my gosh, we're so close. It's March 18th. Spring is, where is it? Where is this calendar? My calendar on my Samsung is so much easier to use, you guys. I hate the Apple calendar. Where, I can't ever find it either. That's the problem. There we go. Yeah, Friday. Friday. No, I think it's, sorry. I could be wrong. I think it's Friday. Thursday or Friday is the first day of spring, you guys, and I cannot wait. Also, Friday is when Sydney Sweeney's movie Immaculate comes out, and I usually don't do scary movies. I just don't like that. That's not how I get my adrenaline rush. I don't like. First of all, they're all so dark, and I'm like, okay, is this the same directors as Harry Potter? I swear, the more and more they get going, like the darker they get. I'm like, are they even acting on the screen? I can't see a thing. And it's always like slow pace, and I don't like jump scares. I don't like gore and like blood. Um, I just don't like that. I don't like the ghost ones. Don't bother. Like those don't really freak me out. It's the real life people stuff that actually like that freaks me out. Like The Strangers is probably one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And the fact that it's based on a true story and that people could just do that to people is very, very disturbing. I just can't even wrap my head around it. So when people are like, no, ghost story or ghost scary movies are way worse, I'm like, no, not really. I mean, you can think that, but I don't think that. Anyway, Immaculate comes out on the 22nd. It's Sydney Sweeney. It's like a, I don't even know what it's about. She's like a nun. Could you imagine Sydney Sweeney as a nun? And she like is like the chosen one for something. Anyway, it looks very intense, but I guess I'm going to see it because my friend Nathan wants to see it. He's like, are we going? I'm like, I don't really do scary movies. He's like, okay, I guess I'll just go by myself. I'm like, well, now I feel that. So anyways, I'll go to support Sydney Sweeney and my friend Nathan, and it'll be fine. I'll tell you all about it. But I really don't remember the last time I saw a scary movie. I used to go in high school all the time, and I don't know why I kind of just stopped. I remember I saw Sinister. That movie was actually pretty scary. And there's this one scene where they look out the window and they just see this face in the bushes, and it scarred me for life. And I literally came home and I had my farm dog come and sleep in my bed with me because I was so scared. I had all the lights on, and this old farm dog is just sitting at the end of my bed, and he's like, what the hell is going on? Why am I in here? But it was scary, you guys. I did not like that. I get my adrenaline and rush from like roller coasters and like skydiving and driving my car super fast. Like I don't get adrenaline from sitting in a theater and like having things pop out at you and you jump and scare and get scared. That's just not how I like to get my thrills. So sue me. Yeah. Anyways, happy almost spring. Happy almost summer, aka happy almost what am I trying to say? Reverse seasonal depression time. My friend Micah said, because I went to dinner with him the other night, and he's like, I was like, it's getting so light. I love it. He's like, oh, I hate it. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I like the darkness. I like all, I'm like, how? Why? Why? Oh my gosh, I couldn't live in Seattle. I couldn't live in Alaska. I couldn't live in Portland. I could never live in England. There's this guy I follow on Instagram. He's from England. He's like a personal trainer. His fiance is actually Shannon. She does that podcast, Probably Shannon. Or Probably a Podcast. She's really funny. Anyway, he's like a personal trainer, and he was saying he loves living in Nashville now and in the U.S. because it's so sunny a lot of the time. And he's like, we probably get like 45 days of sunshine in England. I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. I would never be able to live there. Ever. No, I could never do that. When we went to Ireland, I don't think the sun shined once. Maybe once. But other than that, the sun... And like when it was light, most of the time there were clouds like covering the sun. So like it was still light, but then sometimes it was super, super dark. Like, how do you guys do this? It just makes me want to fall asleep forever. Anyway, somewhere I could live is Australia. I've always wanted to go there, but it's going to cost me a lot of money because I'm going to have to fly first class. Because there's no way in hell I am flying economy to Australia. Because it's like a 24-hour flight, isn't it? Okay, so you have to stop at least once, which is super annoying. But yeah, total flight time 21 hours 55 minutes, 19 hours 59 minutes. So that's a long time to be in the air, you guys. That is a long time for someone with long legs not be able to move, or like I didn't get up at all during the Ireland flight. Either way, because I just hate that. I don't like going in those tiny little bathrooms. I don't like having to have everyone get up, and so I can get up and like. But people do it all the time. I'm like, why do I care so much? Anyways, what I'm getting at from Australia is this billionaire in Australia is going to recreate the Titanic, the exact replica. So let's see. Let me read you a little bit. Oh, maybe I should do a different source. This is on CNN. Australian billionaire revives dream to set sail on Titanic 2. For more than a decade, Australian billionaire Clive Palmer has been the driving force behind plans to build the Titanic 2, a replica of the ill-fated ship that sank in 1912. Only about 700... Oh, why am I saying all that? Okay. Let's see. Palmer first launched plans for Titanic 2 in 2012 and again in 2018. 6 years later, he's done it again, relaunching the project on Wednesday during a press briefing at Sydney Opera House against the backdrop of the city's famous harbour. Once again, the question is why. It's more fun to do the Titanic than it is to sit at home and count my money. Oh, I guess he has a point. Palmer reportedly told local media that with blunt honesty of a man who earns almost $500 million in mining royalties every year. Holy crap. I was going to actually Google next and see what he does to make money. $500 million a year. What would you guys do with that kind of money? Like, I know I've talked about this before, but like, what's the point? After that, like, what is the actual point? That brings me to, I forgot to write this down, which I should have listened to the voice in my head because I would have forgotten it. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez gave $100 million away to Eva Longoria and the guy that was kind of in charge of capturing Osama bin Laden. It was like some fundraiser or whatever. So like that money gets to go to whatever charities or causes they deem suitable for them, I guess. Anyway, it's a kind of like a lifetime achievement award that I guess they do. I will say, Lauren, I don't know how, like she's very pretty, but how you bagged the richest man in the world, which I think he's the second richest man, that is just crazy to me. That someone is that confident and that, um, I guess interesting. I don't know what someone that rich would be looking for. You know what I mean? Like, what does she have that he loves so much? I'm not saying that she's not lovable and like there's no one should love her or whatever, but it's just kind of crazy to think. Like, does she like wake up and think, wow, like, what have I done? Like, how did I do this? I don't know. Anyway, but I think she's good because he's not been known to give money away very, easily. He was at like some fundraiser and he donated like, or he bid $100,000 for something, and I guess people were booing him. And I'm like, I mean, $100,000 is still a lot, but when you have $200 billion, come on, let's just like, what are you gonna do with it? Anyway, what I'm getting at is, they donated $100 million to the Maui fires. Now they're doing this $100 million to these people, and I think she has a lot to do with it. I think that she's kind of like, okay, well, like, let's do something with this money. Let's like be, productive with this money. So I think that's good. I think that's a good pairing, and I think she's good for him, and I think he realizes it too because he's obviously with her. He seems like he likes her. Anyway, what was I getting at? The Australian billionaire. Oh yeah, $500 million a year. When he first floated his dream of building a more buoyant version of the Titanic more than a decade ago, the popular view was that he was rich and eccentric enough to do it. But headwinds of the pandemic hit, and the multi-million-dollar project was put on hold as ports closed and passengers reassessed their risk appetite for being quarantined at sea. Palmer, the chairman of Blue Star Line Company behind the Titanic project, also had other issues on his agenda. In recent years, he's launched multiple court cases against the state and federal governments. He took on the Western Australian state government over a decision to shut its borders during the pandemic. Another high court loss came when he sought billions of dollars in damages from the same state government over its decision to block his access to compensation over an iron ore project. That you have to be pretty gutsy to sue the government, I will say. He's now taking that to an international tribunal, seeking almost $200 billion in damages. Jeez. I mean, he's obviously not going to get $200 billion, but that's a lot of money. Then there's bids for political office as the founder of the United Australia Party, registered in 2018. I don't know all this stuff. He famously spent millions of dollars on advertising for very little electoral return. It's kind of like Bloomberg. Didn't he spend like $500 million in a couple months on his presidential campaign? And like he literally got nowhere. Like no one voted for him. Now the pandemic has passed and cruise ships are once again at sea, Palmer said that the time is right to revive the Titanic dream. We are very pleased to announce that after the unforeseeable global delays, have re-engaged with partners to bring the dream of Titanic 2 to life. Let the journey begin. The plans are very similar to previous iterations, checked to ensure they comply with current regulations. Yeah, that'll be interesting because a lot of safety regulations have changed, so they can't obviously recreate it exactly. Like they'll have to have obviously more lifeboats, and like fire hydrants. Like they're gonna have to have a lot more than what the original Titanic had, because obviously it wasn't safe, and safety guidelines have what am I trying to say? Have gone up since then. Like I work at a furniture store and they have to have a fire hydrant. Why do I always call it that? Fire extinguisher, like 75 feet away from the next one. And whoever placed them put them in the worst locations ever. I'm like, you guys, this is a showroom floor. Why didn't you like come and ask somebody where you should put this? Like, they're in the worst spots. That's a whole different topic. But anyways, tenders are being sought with plans to confirm a shipbuilder by the end of the year to begin work in the first quarter of 2025. Right now, Palmer expects the winning bidders to be based in Europe. He doesn't believe Chinese standards are up to the tasks. At the relaunch, his team distributed an 8-minute video that's been around for several years showing the layout of the ship and how each room will look, complete with actors dressed in period costume. Passengers will be encouraged to dress for the 1900s, but it's not mandatory, a spokesperson said. That'd actually be kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, you'd have to get a whole new wardrobe. The ship itself will be 269 meters, 833 feet long, 105 feet wide, slightly wider than the original. Capacity will be 2,345 passengers, spread across 9 decks with 835 cabins. Almost half of those will be reserved for first class passengers. Wow. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say this is not going to be cheap to go on. It's going to be probably very, very expensive. Third class passengers will be treated to stew and mash along tables and communal dining as they were in the original boat. The original boat. Though a spokesperson said their other meals will also be available to those who want a less authentic experience. More than a century after the Titanic went down, researchers and historians remain captivated by its story. I will say, it still fascinates me, but when I was little, I was fascinated by the Titanic, obsessed with it. Like, me and my friends had this like dream to build a time machine and go back and stop it from sinking. But then we're like, well, would we even be interested in it then if it like never sank? Like, obviously there were other ships back in the day that were probably not as glamorous as that one, but still very nice. But you don't really hear about them because they didn't have a tragedy. So then we obviously wouldn't have the movie. I don't know. I think just the opulence is just kind of what drew me into it, and the I don't know. I guess just all the factors that played into it, and all the carelessness that went into the whole ship sinking thing, and just how it was brand new and basically destroyed within, less than a month of it being ready to go. I would say if you're in Ireland, Belfast, Ireland, go to the Titanic Museum. It is absolutely incredible. But yeah, I was obsessed. I actually got books from the Scholastic Book Fair. They were Titanic books, and one had 3D glasses. And I watched Titanic all the time when I was little. I was just fascinated by it. It's just I don't know, just that, like, you go on cruise ships now and they're really nice, but it's still nowhere near the Titanic. It's just kind of hard to explain, just the detail and the craftsmanship and everything. But it is kind of crazy to think of how small it is compared to cruise ships nowadays. Cruise ships nowadays are massive. Should we see how big the Titanic is? Oh, that's cool. So I'm looking at my phone, and when I went on my computer on Google, it showed what's on my phone on the computer. I love technology. Okay, biggest cruise ship in the world. It's gonna be Royal Caribbean. They just launched their huge one. Let's see. Royal Caribbean, icon of the seas. Besides taking on the mantle of largest cruise ship in the world. No, I want to know how big it is. This one though has townhouses in it, you guys, on the back of the ship. They have like 3 levels. How big is it? Okay, if it measures 365 meters in length. What did I say the Titanic was before that? 269 meters. Oh, so that's not that big. That's not much of a difference. Why did I think they were so much bigger? I think they're taller too. Interesting. Okay, this doesn't matter. I'll just keep reading. But it will be smaller than most cruise ships, because cruise ships now are huge. Let's see. The tragedy inspired James Cameron's Titanic. One such mission ended in tragedy in June. It's almost been a year, you guys. Also, it's been a year yesterday since Taylor Swift started the Eras Tour. That's so crazy. It'll be like a year next week when I went. When all 5 passengers aboard the Titan submersible were killed and the vessel suffered a catastrophic implosion. That is still the craziest thing to me. Palmer wants to replicate the Titanic without the tragedy ending. I love how they had to add that in there. I think it's pretty obvious. Someone's like, on Instagram, they're like, he wants to recreate it like exactly. Let's see. We all know how to make war What? What does this have to do with anything? Oh, and he also wants world peace. What the hell is this guy's dream? This is the most bizarre article. We all want to make war. We got armies. We get armies and we fund wars. People know about that, but it is a lot harder to make peace. To make peace, you have got to stick with it every day. You progress inch by inch, he said in a press release. I am so sorry. What does this have to do with anything? Titanic 2 is something that can provide peace. It can be a ship of peace between countries of the world. Oh, okay, I guess that ties into it, but weird. Anyway, it's probably going to be done for a long time, because I think they take a while to build. But I would go on it, definitely. Not third class, but I would definitely go on it. Yeah, maybe I'll be rich by then, and I'll buy a completely new wardrobe from Chanel, and I'll be Cal. What's his name? Cal. What was her last name gonna be? Anyway, yeah. So if you want to go on that, start saving. I'm guessing it's gonna port from Australia. So are they gonna do the same voyage? Maybe they're gonna do the same voyage. Huh? I didn't think about that. I don't know if they thought about that because it's not in here. Maybe they don't want to do the same voyage. Although it was kind of a freak thing that the icebergs were where they were. I can't remember. It was something about the winds that blew all the icebergs down in the path of the Titanic. There's like a whole list of reasons why the Titanic failed, and it's pretty interesting. So if you want to know more about that, let me know, and I will sit down and have a conversation with you. Anyway, who wants to go with me? Raise of hands. I will definitely go with you, because just the thought of actually being able to kind of live like they lived back then, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Like in some ways I think that now like luxury is like so over the top, but back then it was pretty over the top too. Like they changed their clothes a lot, and they had like trunks and trunks of clothes, and like they'd bring like their furniture and stuff with them. So it's interesting. Maybe I'm just thinking of Tarzan. I always thought it was so weird that they brought like furniture to the jungle, like their grandfather clock. I'm like, what? Why was that necessary? Anyway, speaking of people with accents, Cara Delevingne's house pretty much burned to the ground. It was pretty bad. Like the roof collapsed. And she paid $7 million for it. Her and her sister bought it together. It was a really pretty house. It was built in like 1941. It took 94 firefighters, and it took more than 2 hours to put it out. I'll just read another article. It's just much easier. A house fire devoured the Los Angeles area home of actress and model Cara Delevingne early Friday morning, leaving 2 people injured. I think they were the fire department people, firefighters. The firefighters responded to the Studio City home just before 4 a.m. local time. They found heavy flames at the back of the house, which spread to the attic of the home. One firefighter was taken to the hospital in fair condition, the department said, and one person inside the home suffered minor... Oh, so there's someone in there. I guess if it was her sister, we would have known by now. Probably just what am I trying to say? I don't want to say like maid, but what do they call them nowadays? I guess house cleaner. Why can't I figure out? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Staff. That's what I meant to say. The house staff. I don't know why. I'm like, wanted to call them servants. I'm like, they're not servants. Cara Delevingne posted on Instagram, "My heart is broken today," she wrote with the text on the top of her photo were 2 cats. In a video also posted to her stories, fire trucks are seen parked alongside the road near her home. Delevingne thanked the firefighters, writing, I cannot believe that life can change in the blink of an eye. So cherish what you have." The house was, I read this in a different article the other day. The house belonged to the family that created Vaughn's grocery stores. I don't think we have any of those in Utah, but we do have they do have them in LA. Why can't I figure it out? I just read it the other day, you guys. Anyway, the house was built in like 1941. It's really pretty. It was featured in Vogue. She was on the cover, not Vogue, Architectural Digest, and it's pretty fun. I love the old Hollywood type of like houses, like the California. I don't even know what you would call them, the Spanish style houses, I guess. Like, I want the house on The Holiday. I want Cameron Diaz's house. I want the house on Gangster Squad. I haven't seen that in so long. The house that what's his name? He was dating Charlize Theron for a while. What is his name? Anyway, his house in Gangster Squad. Like, I love those kinds of houses. I think it was kind of like that. But yeah, that would suck. That would suck to lose. She pretty much lost everything. The house is, I think they're going to tear it down. Like, from the pictures. Like, there's no way they can salvage that. And if they do, it's going to be a lot of money. But I mean, she has a lot of money. So I was thinking about it the other day. She was like one of the first, the first like influencers. Like, obviously she was a model, but like, she has so many Instagram followers for even before she became like an actress. She had a ton, just for, just kind of one of the original influencers of like Instagram. She has 42 million Instagram followers, which is crazy because like Kacey Musgraves has like 4. It's just really interesting to me. No, she has 2.5, which is still a lot. I'm not trying to say it's not, but it's just crazy to me that some people have so many more followers than other people. And I know that's not like what I'm supposed to focus on, but it's just interesting when you look at people's follower count. Anyway, Dua Lipa, she's next. She's got an accent too. She says her new studio album, Radical Optimism, will be out May 3rd. I cannot wait. She's already announced, I just saw this morning, a tour for not even like 5 cities, I think. But best believe when she announces for the US, I will be going. Which I pray, please you guys pray for me that she comes to Utah. Like, I'll obviously go to Vegas because I like Vegas. But I'm getting really pissed off. Like, there have been like 3 or 4 people in the last 4 in the last little while that are not coming to Utah. Nicki Minaj was supposed to come. I'm like, okay, go to hers. I kind of am not sad I'm missing hers now because she's kind of, I don't know, the whole thing with Meg Thee Stallion kind of like rubbed me wrong. It didn't sit well with me. And the fact that she's married to like a convicted like sex offender is really bizarre. And it's bizarre that she keeps defending him, in my opinion. I still like her and I'll listen to her, but I don't know. Just after that, it kind of made me feel weird. And I don't know if this was true or not, or if it was doctored, but like during her meet and greets, there was like a disclaimer at the bottom saying you had to be okay with him being in the room. I don't know. And I'm just kind of like, that's embarrassing. That's really just like, I would not let him be anywhere near that and not have to have that put on the paper. Anyway, I didn't look into it to see if it's actually that true, so I take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, she was supposed to come to Salt Lake, and I signed up for pre-sale, and then when she announced the actual tour, Salt Lake was gone. Meg Thee Stallion's not coming, not necessarily that I go to her. J-Lo's not coming. There was one other person that I really wanted to see, and they're not coming either. And I'm like, what is going on? And I don't know if that's just like the culture here, which kind of makes me sad because I don't think a lot of people like to come here because of it's just some of the hatred they get, which, there was that whole debacle of the Jazz, that was like 5 or 6 years ago, where that person was banned for life for making racial comments, which is, it's sad. And yeah, anyway, so pray that Dua Lipa comes to Salt Lake. She didn't come last time. She came the time before though. Me and my friend Callie went and we saw her at the Depot. I think she had like 2 million followers at that point. Now she has like 84 or 90 million right now. So we'd love to see glow up. But yeah, Radical Optimism. It's kind of funny when my friend Edgar were talking. He's like, the vibe of her album does not seem to match like the other vibe she's been going with Houdini and Training Season. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is kind of like, because she's like in the water with a dolphin, and people went crazy with that. They kept like adding, like they added Miley Cyrus hanging from the sky. They added Katy Perry in the clouds above her. They added like Jennifer Coolidge falling off the boat in White Lotus. Like they just kept adding and adding and adding stuff to it. But yeah, that should be good. Dua Lipa always has good music. She also, I saw a video of her yesterday on Instagram, and she can speak Spanish. I'm like, what can't this girl do? You and Sydney Sweeney are just like a plethora of knowledge and like talent and dedication and discipline. And please just give me a tiny, tiny little bit of that. J-Lo has a new movie coming out on Netflix called Atlas. Seems very futuristic, so that should be interesting. I don't know if did I talk about this last week? Maybe I didn't. I can't remember when she announced it, but Beyonce's Act 2 is called Cowboy Carter. She posted a picture of a saddle with like a bunch of silver, like what am I trying to say? Silver bling on it, I guess. I'm sure there's a proper term for that. Also, I don't know. I hope she didn't get in trouble for this. I can't imagine she will. But someone asked Dolly Parton about Jolene and about covering it or something, and she's like, well, I think Beyonce just covered it, and I think it's going to be on her new album. I'm like, oh, I would actually pass away if Beyonce covered that, because you know she's going to put a spin on it. She's going to put her little twist on it, and it's going to be amazing, and the vocals are going to be amazing. When Miley sings it, it's amazing. It's just a good song. Plus, my grandma's name was Jolene, so I just love that name and the song. I remember when me and her went to see Dolly Parton, and we specifically had to go make sure we were there when she sang Jolene. So yeah, Act 2 comes out. When does Act 2 come out? Soon. Let's find out. We are officially, so tomorrow, we are 1 month away from The Troubled Poets Department by Taylor Swift. And I'm just so excited to see what it's going to be about. Like, what the vibe is going to be. Because, yeah. Just because. I mean, it's Taylor Swift. Okay, Cowboy Carter comes out March 29th. So, that's pretty exciting. That's soon. That's next Friday. I'm very anxious to see how this plays out and how what the vibe is and how it goes, and I'm sure she'll announce a tour. Actually, she waited a long time to announce a tour last time. Like, it was like almost a year, I think, wasn't it, that she announced her tour? And people were like, Beyonce, where's the tour? Where's the tour? Where's the tour? Meanwhile, we had no idea the masterpiece she was working on. And the wait was definitely worth it. I was going to say something. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Oh, so I listened to this other podcast called Tyrants. It's Ty French. He's the person. And he actually made a good point. Sorry, that's my phone. He actually made a good point. He's like, I'm so sick of these artists dropping all of this merch and all of these like exclusive CDs and stuff before the album even comes out. He's like, how do I know I like it? How do I know I want to buy the album? How do I know like it's going to be something I'm going to look at and be like, oh, this is such a good album. I love it. Or like if you look at it and be like, that album kind of was a flop in my opinion. Like, he has a point, and they're actually very expensive. Like, vinyls are like $40. CDs are like $20, and all of them come out with all these like exclusive things, and like people even come out with like a vinyl with just the one song on it. I'm like, how is that even worth it? Cassettes are popular now. They did the top selling cassettes of last year, and it was Taylor Swift's 1989, Taylor Swift's Speak Now, and the other three were Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, wow, apparently people like Guardians of the Galaxy, which I guess isn't even technically their music. It's just compilation of all these old songs in the 80s or whatever. Anyway, let's hope that Jolene is on the album because it'll be so good. Sorry, I feel like I haven't talked about many topics today. I watched Irish Wish the other day with my cousin Georgie. It's on Netflix. It's the one with Lindsay Lohan. And it didn't get very good ratings. But you can't go into it thinking it's like going to be like a rom-com like 13 Going on 30 or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or like 50 First Dates. Like, it's not that level of production. It's very Hallmark. It's like Netflix's version of Hallmark. You go into it with that mentality. And it was fun. It was cute. It was like very vibrant and bright and springy feeling. And it just, I love movies like that. I love spring colors, like pastel colors and just bright, stuff like that. So it's a good movie. Don't go into it thinking it's like this, high production blockbuster thing. But it was fun. We liked it. We enjoyed it. And it was funny because we're like, wait, that looks so familiar. Rewind it. And like we rewind it. I'm like, I swear we've been there. We were there. We were right there. And we're like, are we just saying that because we like everything looks familiar over there, or were we actually there? I think they filmed on like the south end of Ireland, and we went to the north end. So I don't think we saw anything that was in the movie. But it's good. Aisha Curry's in it, and Lindsay Lohan's little brother is in it. I think he's her younger brother. He's in it. And then her sister recorded a song for like the credits. So it was kind of like a family affair. But I mean, it makes sense because Lindsay Lohan produced it. So, and Aisha Curry, and if you don't know who that is, Aisha Curry is Steph Curry's wife. And she has like cookbooks and stuff. I think Steph Curry plays basketball for Oakland. I could be wrong. Or Steph Curry. What team is he on? Golden State Warriors. Where's that, you guys? Where's my sports people at? Okay, well now we need to Google where the Golden State Warriors are from. Golden State Warriors are an American professional basketball team in San Francisco. I was right, you guys. I was right. Are you so proud of me? I got a sports fact right. But yeah, apparently they met in Dubai. That's where Lindsay Lohan lives. And she moved there a long time ago because I think paparazzi is a lot stricter there. Like, it's nothing like here. And so she just liked being able to get away. And she said in an interview she came home, someone's like, I think it was Kelly Clarkson or Drew Barrymore asked her this question. And they're like, when's the last time you watched one of your movies? She's like, well, I came home the other day from working and my son was watching The Parent Trap. It was just playing on TV, so they let him watch it. And she's like, I started crying because, like, she's like, he probably doesn't even know that's mommy. But she's like, I think you could tell, like, my voice sounded a little similar. And she's like, I took so many pictures of him watching that movie. I'm like, that's so cute. Let's see, Meghan Markle's on Instagram now. It's a weird name, though. It's not like her name. I honestly don't even know if I can find it. Oh wait, here it is. Oh, that's not it. Never mind. Sorry. I was so sure of myself. Let me just go to my recent followers. Nope. How do you do this? Latest following. Nope. Earliest. No, that is not what I wanted. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, this is embarrassing. Oh, here we go. Okay, here she is. By Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Why is she still going by that? Like, is that something she has to live with for the rest of her life? Like, why is she still going by the Duchess of Sussex? I thought they left. That's like a lot to say, Duchess of Sussex. American Ivy. How do you say that? American Riviera Orchard. So maybe it's not her. Okay, this makes sense. This is not her Instagram. This is an orchard, apparently. This is by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Montecito, it says at the bottom. Obviously, that's where she lives. If you guys didn't know, she's neighbors with Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom and Oprah. And I think Rob Lowe used to live by them. I can't remember. I think they just sold their house. Anyway, so if you want to follow that, go ahead. I might unfollow because I didn't know it wasn't her. I don't really drink wine, so it really wouldn't do much for me. Allegedly, Bruno Mars is in $15 million of gambling debt. I could not even imagine being in that much debt. I am in a lot of debt, but not $50 million of debt. I have never, ever, ever, ever been into gambling. Ever. I would rather just go and spend my money and have something right away. Like, I don't want to risk it. First of all, it's like I don't really know when to stop. I don't know how to control myself. So I know that's something that I would never be able to do. And like I'd be like, well, the next one, well, the next one, well, the next one. Which is, I mean, obviously it's how they get you in gambling. I listened to this book once too. It's The Power of Habits, I think. And they talked about this lady who was good at gambling. And she kind of just did it for fun at the beginning. And then she got really good. And then she'd get comped by the resorts. And I think this happens quite often. So then they'd let her come stay for free in these really nice rooms. And they'd give her like a certain allowance of money she could use. And then it got, she was really good, really good, really good. And then after a few years, she started losing. And she was in so much debt. And she filed a lawsuit against the casinos. And the casinos won. I can't remember how exactly it went down, but that's kind of like their whole goal is to get you to come and spend money and get into debt with them. So I'm sure Bruno can come up with 50 million somehow. Apparently his salary every year is 90 million. So, I mean, I guess, are you really in debt if you make 90 million and you have to owe 50 million? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you can pay it off pretty easily. Okay, last few things before we log off for the day, for the week. Abby Lee Miller. I was on TikTok the other day and I was doing the For You page. I never really do the For You page. But someone on there went to Cracker Barrel. And Abby Lee Miller was the hostess at Cracker Barrel. But she can walk. So, wasn't she in a wheelchair at one time? She was standing. But what was funny is she was standing behind that little podium thing at Cracker Barrel. And she was wearing her Abby Lee Miller dance hoodie. I'm trying to see if I can find the exact location of where she works. But someone's like, because they put music over it. It was like the Despicable Me, the... And I don't know how to do the rest of it, but you get the shift. And someone's like, take the music off. We want to hear her voice. We know it's actually her. And so they did. And it was like, literally, it was her. Because she's so skinny now. Like, I almost thought it was just someone who looked like her. Here she is.
Two of us? Two? Table for two? Table for two, please. Okay. Who's paying tonight?
Me? I thought you had all the money.
Here you go.
No?
That's literally her, you
Open
guys.
seating. Wherever you want.
We got it.
I think it's so funny. She said, somewhere, or someone said that she'd always wanted to be a hostess. I don't know if it was at Cracker Barrel specifically or just at any restaurant. Someone's like, I died when I saw this woman. This woman has literally lived a million different lives. She looks really happy. She looks like she's loving it. Maybe this is her like slowly getting her way back into people's hearts. But I'm going to be honest, one of the most people I see on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on all these memes and stuff, they're all her. They're all clips of her and her her just like random rants and stuff. Like the most recent one was when she sounds like Mickey Mouse when she's talking. She's like, don't blame me. It's not my fault. You did something dumb. Anyway, I can't find which one she works at, but maybe if I find it later, I will let you know. TikTok might obviously get banned, so that's interesting. There's so much going on in the world, and they choose to ban TikTok. And they want someone from America to buy it. And I'm like, how do you do that? How does one country say, hey, we don't want you to own this, so you're gonna have to sell it to someone in our country? Like, I don't get how someone can just do that. Supposedly some old congressman or some, former, I guess I should say former, he's not like that old, but he's trying to put together a group of people to buy TikTok. But I'm like, I don't know. It's like, either way, someone's going to have all our information. And if you really want my information from TikTok, go ahead and have it. Like, there's nothing that I like care that you see that I see on TikTok. Like, I literally laughed at a video the other day of a lady trying to get her horses to go into a different field. So if that's the kind of information that you want, go ahead and have it. There are so many more pressing things, like the fact that I can't even buy a fraction of the groceries I used to buy 2 years ago without it costing triple the amount. Or the fact that, like, I barely climb my way out and see, like, sunshine on the other side, and something minor happens and I get charged a lot of money for taxes that I still need to figure out how to do. I gotta hurry on that, actually. That's a good point. Anyway, I just think it's so stupid. What a stupid, stupid thing to focus on. Okay, let's end on this one. She's the Man, one of the greatest movies of all time, turned 18 yesterday. Let that sink in. 18. Are you guys starting to get why I hate aging so much? The fact that 18 years ago, I can remember vividly. It's just baffling to me. It's just horrible. And I don't know, I was thinking about this too. It's like, I remember a lot of stuff. Like, a lot. And it's like not even necessary stuff. It's like mostly just mumbled up garbage. And it's like I don't remember stuff that I should. Or I guess what society wants me to remember. Like, I can't remember math stuff. I can't remember science stuff. Like, I just don't care about any of that stuff. But, like, yeah, sure, I remember the exact temperature, or, like, the angle of the sun when I watched this movie, She's the Man, back in 2006. Yeah, I will definitely remember that. But, no, I don't remember anything important. But the fact that I can remember this and remember everything so vividly, I wonder if that plays into the fact that I hate getting older. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anybody? Everything feels like yesterday to me. And I think that's why I have such a hard time with everything, is because I don't know. Maybe I just remember things too much. And in my mind, it didn't happen that long ago, but really, it did happen forever ago. Like, 2019 to me was yesterday. Like, it seriously feels like just a couple days ago. Anyway, enough with my existential crisis that I keep bugging you guys about. That will do it for me today. I hope it was worth your time and worth your Monday morning. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good week. Kate, we're rooting for you. I hope you're well. I hope your husband's treating you well and it's not like another Diana situation. Do you ever see those things on on Instagram or whatever, and it's like, you guys, I just got this message from Michael Jackson. It says, hey, it's me, Michael. I'm not really dead. I'm on a remote island, but I need you to send me money. Someone did that with Kate Middleton. She's like, hey, it's Kate. I'm okay. I just need some money to get to the United States or something. And she's like, I've got Diana here. She's with me. And then the next message is, hey, love, it's me, Diana. People are so funny. Like, so funny. I'll scroll through TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and all of them. Just the quick-wittedness of people is hilarious. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day and a good week, and I'll talk to you next week, love. Wait, you guys, sorry, it's me again. I have been trying to keep these milestone episodes and tell you about them, but I always forget. Like, I wanted to say it at 20, I wanted to say it at 25, but today is our 30th episode. That is so crazy that we've been doing this for 30, I guess it's 31 weeks because I skipped Christmas week. We've been doing this for 31 weeks. That is so cool. I haven't missed 1 week, you guys. Are you proud of me? Are you so proud of me? That was like my one goal for this, was to stay consistent, and I have. But the fact that I've been talking, you've listened to me talk for 30 hours. Isn't that crazy? That's honoring to me. I'll say that you guys would listen to me for that long. But I enjoy it. I love it. I would say it all the time. And I'm glad that you're here with me. And here's to 30 more, or 3,000 more. But yeah, let's get it to 52. I guess it would be 51 weeks would be wait, actually, I don't know what I'm saying. See, this one I'm well with math. Yeah, let's get to 50. It'll be here before we know it, because, time goes by so fast. Anyways, have a good week, love.